And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as I do every day. Today is Wisdom Wednesday and we are going to be blessed with an incredible guy, Chaz Langley. So we're going to pop him in the studio. But it is Wednesday. It is hump day. Can you believe it's the middle of the week already? Holy moly. It seems like the days are going by so fast. I can't. I just can't. I'm just saying, what is going on? So, anyway, here we are. Good morning, Omar. Omar is in the building. Good morning. Good morning, Hannah. Good morning. Good morning, Derek. Derek is in the building. Mr. T. Tuggle. Yes, right. We got the West Coast, we got the Central, and we got the East Coast in the building. We are all here. Brian is in the building. What's going on, Brian? Brian Young, creative. How are you, my friend? So I'm so excited today. Hey, Christy's in the building. Christy is in the building. Christy's corner. So good to see you. And so last night I had the great, I should say yesterday, after I got off with you guys, I ended up at Lincoln Center. I was invited to an event called film presentation for an amazing composer named George. Oh gosh, see, my brain does that. My brain freezes. Oh my god, how can I? George. Oh man, my brain is frozen. Anyway, it'll come back to me when I'm calmed down. I'm so excited. That's what it is. So I'm so excited. Let me go into. Let me just put this up here. It's much easier if I just have my notes. You know, I need notes these days. I cannot do this now without notes. Notes are important. So Crawford is it Crawford? 1 second. Hold on a second. Let me go there. Lincoln Center. Holy moly. I cannot believe I can't remember this. Oh my goodness. How's this possible? Anyway, George. Anyway, he's a great composer at Lincoln Center. Let me just see it. Chamber music. There we go. Chamber music society. I should have wrote this down. I do have it in my in the other area. I forgot to bring my pad. That would help if I bring my pad over to me to what's going on. And but yeah, so last night, anyway, I'll give the name to you later on. But it was George, and he's an amazing composer, and he creates these amazing where he uses all these different elements to create music, um, sounds and strange sounds, the popping of a cork, and all kinds of interesting things. Anyway, they celebrated his film yesterday, and I was invited to the preview of this film at Lincoln Center, and it was it was so great. Thank you to um, the Chamber Music Society for having a beautiful presentation last night. Beautiful food, and then after they did a presentation of the food and the movie, I said the film. After that, we were uh, blessed to hear the orchestra, you know, the music itself, and it was so beautiful. And so I love Lincoln Center. I love going to Lincoln Center. I don't know why I just had a brain freeze, but I just did, and I do often. So I'm not even going to blame it on being 60. I'm not going to blame it on getting older, but what it is, I'm so excited about today. And usually when I get so excited about something, my brain just like. So anyway, I see Erica's in the building. Whoa, Erica Hamburg is in the building. So good to see you. And Amparo's in the building. Grand Rising. Just got to put that out there. And so yeah, so that was last night. And then I ran home. I got on the bike and rode home back to Brooklyn, and then last night I did some editing, and so it was a beautiful evening, just kind of checking and sharing and doing things, and also getting ready for vacation. Because for those that don't know, I'm going on vacation, cyberspace. Well, it's gonna be a semi cyberspace blackout, and so I try to do those at least twice a year where I just don't worry about social media. I don't come online. And so that's how I try to do it every year. And let me see here. I'm just gonna check some messages here. Hold on a second. And cool, 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 cool. Okay. And so hey, Lisa's in the building. Good morning, Lisa. She says good morning to everyone. Chrissy says, vacation, woohoo. Yes, I will be on vacation. I will be in the great state of North Carolina, photographing like I did last year. The people, the culture, the foods. Yes, I did say the foods. The foods is what got me in trouble last year. I was on a fast. I mean, not fast. I was, looking out for what I eat, and I had lost all the weight. Well, it all came tumbling down when I went to the South. So I blame the South for eating, just learning how to eat. Oh, oh, you're in North Carolina right now, Lisa. Oh, wow. Did not know that. Oh, go girl, go girl. Hey, Tonya's in the building. It's so good to see you, Tonya. What's going on? What's going on? She says, happy Wednesday, everyone. Have fun, but you will be missed. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, Lisa, you're visiting your mom like around the same time last year. Okay, awesome, awesome. And so I'll be in the South, and I cannot wait because there's always so much to photograph in the southern states, and I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. I am excited about going to North Carolina to be with my friends. My friends Nia and Mimbo. Yes. So we're gonna have some good times with and winter. So we'll be on the road and doing whatever. I think most of our time is gonna be spent right there in Charlotte. And I'm so or anyone that wants to connect and you're in Charlotte, let me know. Maybe we can get together. Maybe we can meet up and create a meetup. Maybe so. I know I will be meeting my Fifi. Fifi will be she and I will be connecting. So we want to do something together. Let us know and we'll all do it together. Okay, so I see here. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, I'm still waiting for our guest to come. So I'm just gonna go into some news, I guess, here. I usually go dive in. And so obviously you guys have been seeing what's going on in Trump and the stormy. It was a stormy day in the courts of New York yesterday, and uh, I'll be in North Carolina from the 18th through the 28th. The 18th through the 28th. Hey, Butch is in the building. I see Butch is in the building. Anthony Roland is in the building, and those for no, I think Anthony will be our guest next week. So check out put that on your calendar. It is click on the notifications because we'll have Anthony next week as a guest. And so yeah, I'm just kind of like waiting for my guest to come on. So hold on a second. Let's see here what's happening here. So back to Stormy Daniels. Let's go back to oh, maybe I'll come to meet you. I'm here until oh, really? Lisa, are you in Charlotte? Are you near Charlotte? Oh, that would be good. That'd be nice. Could you imagine? Lisa, Fifi, myself, all together in one town, hanging out. So that would be great. Oh, keep me posted. Yeah, I'm there to the 28th, and I'm so excited. Yeah, but back to Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels. Has anybody been watching it? Did any of you guys watch the? Well, it's just it's not live, but did you watch the replays? Did you watch the I'm called not the replay? I guess you say the replays with the news and all that good stuff. Did any of you watch? Any of you on top of this? Stormy Daniels and the Trump case, the hush money. Oh man. So anyway, y'all gotta let me know what's going on. Uh yeah, let me know what Anthony's gonna be big. Yeah, see, look at that, Omar. Anthony's going big time. That's right. Anthony will be here. Lisa's in Fayetteville. Oh, my, do you know my aunt used to live in Fayetteville? Now she's here in the north. But Fayetteville is right there, not far. Yes. Chris C. Good says good morning. Okay, good. Have any of you guys been following? You missed the call from Chaz. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Can I put you guys on what I call, let me see what's going on here. Hold on. Let me see. Looks like I got a phone call. And just give me one. That's what's great about going live and being on a live broadcast. Let me see here. And let me go here. So hold on a second. Hold on. It looks like it says it went through. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Should I put on the be right back? Give me one moment. I gotta talk to our guest. He's trying to get on. So hold on a second. Okay, here we go. I can do this right like this now. Okay, I'm back. I'm not sure what happened to our guest, and I'm not sure what happened. This is the first time this has happened. So I don't know what happened. I saw, I think that a phone call came through, but I'm looking at my phone and there's no phone calls. And then I can't seem to get back to the booking information. Okay, so if that's the case, we'll just keep going on. That's what we do here. That's what we're here with as a community. We're here, we're live, and we are going to keep going. And so I'm not sure what happened. Yes, Omar, I'm with you. I need a producer. I need a producer. Oh, it says, hold on a second. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened. But you know what they say, the show must go on. The show must go on. And so hold on a second. I think something's coming through on Instagram. Hold on. Hold on a second. Hello? Hold on a second. I'm gonna mute you guys. Hello? Hold on. Hey guys, we're figuring it out. So just so you know, we are figuring it out to get our Chaz online. So he's working it out.
Continuous chat. Okay, here we go. Allow mic access.
Okay, how we doing?
Your app. Okay, that's. Do I need to have the app?
No, you should just be able to come on through the link.
I know, but even
We're working on this, guys. We're working on this.
it says use StreamYard on this device.
Yes.
Tap the Safari icon in your navigator bar. Link in your.
Thank you for your patience, y'all. We're getting it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get them on.
Entering the studio, but then it blocks me, and I'm going in Chrome and Safari, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay, let me hold on a second.
Let me see. I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna try this again on entering the studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's loading, and it says continue as Chaz Langley. I am, and it says open StreamYard app. It's both browsers are unsupported. So
I'm gonna send you the link again. I'm gonna send you a new link. I just sent you the new link.
Okay, let me see what happens. But I'm going into, let's see, allow paste.
So, guys, you understand. I'm glad you guys see the back. You're enjoying the back end of how things work here. Omar says tech rehearsals are very important. Yes, they are. Oh, gosh.
You are on a call.
Okay.
You need to end your phone call. Okay, so let's see. Let me end this Instagram phone call.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so guys, this is we're gonna get this together. So here he oh, yes, he's here. Okay, there he is. And now we just gotta get his sound, right? We just gotta get his sound on. Okay, let's see here. Edit mic settings is we can't hear you. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Chaz, we can't hear you yet. We can't hear you. G says it happens, Ron. Heck, I went live a whole 30 minutes before my guest was scheduled to arrive.
Okay, there we go. Eureka!
He's here.
Oh my gosh. That was
Chaz
painful.
is the man. I'm
Oh my
so glad
gosh.
you're here.
Obviously not. Oh my gosh, Ron, how are you?
Stuff happens.
How are you? I'm so sorry. You probably lost half your viewers in the last 20
no,
20 minutes.
this is a community that hangs in there. This community
man.
is a strong, what do you call it? Like the ever ready battery. They will be here no matter what, and they stand strong. So
beautiful.
I didn't get a chance to do what do you call it? A really cool introduction.
Oh man. Well, hey, I guess that's the price you pay for well, I say tardiness, but it was just technical difficulties. But yeah, because I went on the link that I got. The last one I got from you was from Instagram.
So that was so weird.
Yeah,
okay.
And so that went straight to your live on Instagram, which I'm like, oh, perfect. Let me just jump right on. And then I'm like, I'm in the chat, and I don't know if anyone on Instagram can see.
Well, they can see us now. The Instagram folks are watching us. Yeah, There's some folks over there.
Because usually I like to see the chats, and I was like, okay, somebody in this chat helped me out by saying, Ron, he's trying to get in. But that never happened because I guess they didn't see me. So anyways,
So,
we're here now.
well, first of all, let me give the proper introduction to Mr. Chaz Langley. I mean, first of all, I came across this man's page, and I was on, I guess it was Instagram, and so
See,
since
where
I
it all
already have it,
starts.
I'm going to show the folks why I fell in love with who you are as a
Oh, man.
photographer and a person. Hold on a second. We're going to get that. It's all queued up. And here we go. So this is the Instagram page of Mr. Langley. It's Langley's Eye.
Yes.
And if you see, if you don't, some folks in here know him. Some folks already know Mr. Langley, and what he does is, let me see if we can get the sound here. Get sound up.
Now I'm following him. Let's see what happens. I love your look. Oh my God! I don't know where you're going. Watch my back. Oh yeah.
He walks up to people and just starts talking and then photographing them.
I mean, this is crazy. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's natural. There's nothing staged. This is amazing. I gotta grab a quick shot, a few shots, because you got accessories and everything. Do you mind? No. All right. We gotta break this down. Break that down for me, man.
The jacket is skin craft based out of LA. The shirt is squared. The body chain is Arvasi. The necklace is Diana Broussard or Christopher.
Okay.
The pants are
that's so funny.
and the shoes are
Yeah.
My bag is a good friend of mine from Canada.
Oh my God. The whole thing is such a vibe, man. Thank you so much for stopping, man.
And then watch the clicks. I was like, who is this dude? And you go through these pages and you go through every single one of these Instagram clips. And I love this hat. We're going to talk about your hat.
Okay.
And one of them is this guy over here. So, hey, Bounce, it's good.
Hey.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
He is able to connect with folks on the streets of New York, and he just starts connecting, shooting, photographing, talking, conversation. And he walks up to photographers, designers, and you go through every one of these, and each one is just makes you laugh, makes you smile. Just
That's awesome.
If you are bored, this is.
If you're bored.
I mean, you will not be bored after you go through his page.
Oh man, that's so kind.
And he walks up to these strangers.
What's your name? Eva?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Now I'm living here.
Chaz.
Oh, wow.
And he speaks other languages.
Brooklyn. She asked me where did I learn it. I'm like, Brooklyn.
I love it. I love it.
Before you go in, I don't know if you have a lunch date or something. I don't want to mess up your groove or anything like that.
Look at that. He just takes photos and created this amazing portfolio of New Yorkers.
And actually, you know what? Can you sit on the corner of that? Oh, beautiful.
Look at this. Watch this, and then watch the results, and then we're gonna start talking. Then we're gonna start talking to Chaz.
When I saw these beautiful shoes, so awesome. Thank you so much. That just happened. Look at Eva. Oh my God, that was amazing. She walked by and I could not let her go. So thank you so much for stopping.
You're welcome.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Okay, so I just had to. That was supposed to be my only pauses. Hold on a second. That was my introduction to Mr. Chaz. that was all
Wow.
queued up and ready to go.
Wow. That's amazing. That's
So,
amazing.
Chaz, where do
Yes.
I begin? Because I have 1,000 questions. So you're like we have a similar style,
Okay.
but you are me on steroids. I mean, it's like I want to be Chaz, and I want to add some more additions to my clothing lineup.
Oh my gosh.
You are so intuitive to fashion. The people in New York, and you have given street photography a whole nother feel, which gives me pleasure to watch you. Now, I do have a side note question before I start
Sure.
this interview, or
Sure.
as I hate calling them interviews. I like to say conversations.
Absolutely.
So, were you in New York City last year for Photoville?
I was. Yeah.
And were you at the Leica?
I was.
And you were wearing your green jumper?
I was.
I met you last year.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes.
I
Okay.
met you last year, and all these people were like, yo, Chaz, and I didn't even know who you were. I was like, and everybody's, and you had people from Baltimore reaching out to you,
Yes.
DC were reaching
Devin.
out to you, and I said, who are these people? I said, and who is this cool dude?
Oh
And
man.
who, and it was just, I just saw you. I was helping the Leica people because I
Okay.
was working for Photoville. Well, that's why I
Okay.
was there.
Okay.
And
It's all coming back to me now. That's the
yeah,
moment.
you were right there. They had that's when they interviewed what's his name from
Devin.
the Gordon Parks Foundation,
Devin.
and I forgot his name, but he
Devin.
his cover story for the I think it was the Times, or it was for Newsweek. I can't remember which one it was. But
His name
anyway,
was
long
Devin.
story
Can you hear
short,
me?
I met you
Okay.
last year around this time, and I did not know our roads would our paths would cross because of Instagram.
Yeah.
And I became totally fascinated by the way you interact with people. So, how do we start this? Usually I have a bunch of questions, but I'm not even going to go there. We're just going to dive right in. How
Can you
did
hear
you
me?
get started? Yeah, we can hear you. If you probably can
Oh,
bring up your volume just a little bit.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We
I
hear
was
you.
talking earlier. I'm like, wait, are they not hearing me? Because I was trying to answer and then interact with you as you were talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm so
Okay.
loud, so.
No, it's okay. Well, I'm here. I'm here. If everyone can hear me, that's amazing. Ron, as long as you can hear me, you're getting a signal.
We
I think
got
we're
you,
good.
brother. We got you. We can hear
Perfect.
you. And
Awesome.
so how did you get started? How did you get started in photography? What
Wow.
and then we're gonna figure out how did you get from your start in photography to ending up in New York, because I
Oh
know
my
you're from
God.
I think Tennessee.
Nashville, yes.
So you came from Tennessee and landed in New York with a
Mhm.
dream, a hope, and a camera.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
so how did you start in
Well,
photography?
I tell you what, it didn't start with a camera. It started with a song. So I moved here from Nashville, Tennessee as a songwriter. And I moved here to be a top tier session vocalist, meaning supporting artists on television, um, doing jingles for commercials and TV. So that was my initial foray into New York. It wasn't probably until the birth of my son in 2011 that I had the interest and the itch of photography. So it hadn't always been photography, but it's always been storytelling. So that's been my initial, you know, thing into photography. So once I got that bug, man, I'm like, there's no turning back, because then the city, as I walk around the city, it started to really inspire me. And I'm like, you know what? There is no way around this, because now everything I see is kind of like that old school. And Ron, I'm sure you feel me on this. You remember that Tootsie Roll commercial way back in the day where the kid's walking through and he's like, the world looks like a Tootsie Roll.
Yes, yes.
Everything I see is a Tootsie Roll. So it's like, that's what started to happen. Everything became an image, a story. And it just stuck. But then, obviously professionally, I work with brands and tell their stories. And, in street photography and people is what rules my life. And so, I can't not bring my camera wherever I go or take my camera,
Mhm.
as my wife would correct me right now if she's giving me the side eye.
Yeah.
But take my camera everywhere I go. And yeah, it just hadn't stopped. And then I got really frustrated with my Instagram page because it kind of initially starts with this whole, the photographer side of Instagram has always been in the space of like, oh, if you make a great photo, you're getting a lot of views, you're getting a lot of likes and stuff because, oh, that was a banging, that was an amazing edit. Oh my God, look at the composition. So you get in this photography jargon and you kind of ride that wave for a while. But I knew there was something bigger than just the image.
Mm.
And then, reels, I'd always been doing reels because like I said, the birth of my son, every day I'm doing dad videos. So, I was always telling stories, um but Instagram wasn't ready yet. They weren't ready for the long form videos. They weren't starting to do that until other competitors like the TikToks of the world started really, really doing the videos. So then they jump on after I'm burnt out.
Oh.
So then they start doing reels again. So then they jumped on reels and they started placing a lot of precedence on reels content. So then I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, well, let me dabble at this, but I still didn't really find my niche. And I was frustrated. I was stagnated with like 13,000 followers or something. And I'm like, I thought that at 10,000 followers, I get verified and I'm trying to chase this carrot.
Yes,
And then they
yes.
move the goal again. And then they move the goal again.
Yes.
So it's like, you know what? I got over Instagram. I got over social media. I just kind of threw something on haphazardly every now and again, and that was my love-hate relationship with Instagram. But until I really, I was walking around doing the same thing that you now see. I was doing that years ago, but it didn't catch
Mm,
on, so I stopped.
mm,
So given my Sagittarius nature, if it don't hit right away, or if I'm not great at something right away, I move on to the next thing because I don't want to spend my energy in the wrong place.
mm.
Right. So then when reels became what they were, then it became, oh, this is happening. And I start seeing people doing what I'm doing. So now I'm really not happy because here I am seeing other people successful at something I was doing years ago.
Yes.
And now I don't want to chase that carrot. So now I'm like, oh, so I'm fighting against myself, all this to say. And then when I really leaned into it, because my thing is, I like to be as original as possible.
Yes.
If it's already been done, I don't want to do it because everybody's doing it. Like I get in my feels about it, right? But it wasn't until I just took it off and say, you know what, Chaz, if you've been doing it this whole time, continue to do it
Yes.
because now's the time to do it. So then I kind of brush off some old content and kind of slowly putting it up there and starting to see what happens. And then what's crazy, I had this amazing surge a couple of months ago that really, really opened everything up for me. And that was
Mm,
simply I took my camera. I always take my camera with me, and I said, you know what? Let me throw this short piece of content up, and it was me taking a selfie on a train, looking down the car.
mhm.
Um, for those who don't, your viewers, Brooklyn subway train. So I was looking on the
Yes.
subway train at the other end of the subway train. I see this couple, but what was unique about them is that they had I say old school, they had the earbuds where you can share. And so they were facing each other, and obviously I'm sitting there looking at that. I could surmise that they were a couple. But what was interesting, their interaction wasn't romantic. It was back and forth. You get little spatters of, okay, yeah, they're together. Yeah, okay,
Mhm.
wait, are they fighting? Like it was just this weird dynamic between them. And but ultimately, I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, they're a couple. So I'm like, you know what? I want to see if they're gonna kiss. So I have my phone, I'm looking at myself, I'm like, I'm kind of talking to the camera like low key because I don't want to make a
Mm.
scene. So I'm looking, and then I kind of pan to the couple, and I zoom my camera so I can show people what I'm looking at. And it wasn't even to show people what I'm looking at; it was just for me at the moment.
Yes.
And then I pan down to my camera. So I've got an 85 millimeter. So
Mm-hmm.
this is within my scope of capturing this if something happens. So long story short, I now am a spectacle because I'm now having this whole moment. So everyone's watching me watch them. So now
Yo.
everyone in the whole car is invested. And they're like, are they going to kiss? So now people are looking at me and looking at my reaction, talking to this. Adrian's like stalker vibes. No, but ultimately, I ended up capturing a photo. They didn't kiss, but I posted that. So I started with the short video, and then I showed the results, like I do on all my content.
Yes.
And then, and I kind of did like a slow pan at the end, and kind of left it up to the audience to decide what happened.
Mm.
And so, long story short, that ended up being a catalyst for my new surge of new followers.
Wow.
And then I was like, well, shoot, let me capture lightning in the bottle. So I'm dusting off all this old content that I had, and now that became my thing. Um, and I'm like, and I'm kind of pissed because I'm like, man, I've been doing this whole time, and now y'all starting to recognize it now, and now I'm getting all these followers, and I'm like, you know what? Let it be, and
Yes.
just keep doing you. And so me fighting against myself for that long kind of stunted my growth, and I had to get over myself at the end of the day.
Mm.
And when I did, the world just opened up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You continue to be consistent at what you would do. I have this thing about consistency. If you just
Mm,
keep going at it and keep going at it, eventually some door will open. And from the old school of the old Bible verse, if you keep knocking, 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 eventually the door will have to open at some
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And but you before I go, I want to go back to your singing because I did cue something up for you, and this was
Uh-oh.
quite funny to me, and I was like, "Yo, look at Chaz."
Oh,
Here
that's
we
funny.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy, I'm so sorry, but I somehow lost my voice during the commercial break. But don't worry, because I always come prepared with someone who can speak on my behalf. Wow, we've never had this happen before. But okay, come on out here. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Could I continue?
Do you know who that person is?
FYI, he's an opera singer. All right. So, Kristen, Palm Royale takes place in 1969. Was it fun acting in a period piece?
Oh, it was a blast. The production nailed every detail. I felt like I was in a time machine.
That
So, Mr. Chaz,
Oh my God.
you are not only do you just sing, but you really can sing.
Thank you so
So,
much.
where did that happen? We'll go back to photography, but since singing led you to photography,
Hmm.
let's take a step back to your singing.
Okay.
Like, where did that start? I mean, you are a opera singer.
Well, you know what? I'm actually not. Although I went to school for vocal performance.
Okay.
Um, but I only went for 2 years, enough to know that, I can get the School of Hard Knocks in real life and actually get paid to do what I do, versus being in the confines of 4 years. I felt like I was wasting away when I could really be living my dream of singing, because at the end of the day, I realized that um, I'm going into an opinionated industry. It's got to
Hmm.
be about how you look. It's about your talent, of course, but four walls couldn't teach me what the world taught me. So I
Wow.
left school early, and I started auditioning and working as a working singer in various capacities, review shows for theme parks, cruise ships, you name it. I kind of did that. And then I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, where, I performed at Opryland its last year of existence. If anyone's familiar with Opryland, it was a world famous theme park that, highlighted some of the world's upcoming singers, and
Mm-hmm.
it became this beautiful hub for a lot of people that now have amazing careers in singing and songwriting. So
Wow.
when I was doing Opryland, I ended up also, waiting tables, doing retail, just kind of living that whole, mini New York dream, right?
Mm.
So I was waiting tables, I was singing, I was, you know, trying to start my own, career as a, R&B soul singer. Um, so, but then meanwhile, I was singing background vocals for the likes of Michael McDonald, Larry Carlton, um, BB and CC Winans,
Wow.
just a lot of session singers. So I would go in and sing background vocals on various people's records, as well as make live appearances as well. So doing sessions and really kind of ingratiating myself to the singing community in Nashville, that was my main thing. And
Mm-hmm.
photography was the furthest thing. I mean, I guess when you're creative, it all kind of ties in, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
So, but my thing was my story, I was crafting my story. I was crafting my story and finding out where my life would end up. Would I be a restaurateur? Would I be a songwriter? Would I be,
Yes.
a stylist? Would I be, anything, as my mom would say, whatsoever thy hands findeth to do, do with the might. So
Oh.
I've lived by that verse all my life. So anything that I've put my mind to, I've always really done 110,000%. So, when it comes to photography and content creation, it kind of, definitely fell into that space. So yeah, so the singing was the thing, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then I was modeling, I was kind of dabbling into that. I was doing all these different things, just trying to find my way. And then I felt like I hit a creative and professional ceiling. And I'm
Okay.
like, I gotta go. I gotta go. So
Mm.
after a 6 month contract on a cruise ship, I came back to New York, put all my stuff in. I'm sorry, I came back to Nashville, put all my things in storage, and you know, came up to visit New York for the first time back in, like, I don't know, I say '06 or something like that, because I moved
Okay.
here '07. Um, so I actually just celebrated my 17th year 2 days ago, May 5th. Yeah. But anyway, so I moved to New York and I'm like, okay, I'm going to New York. And my mindset for New York was one in which I think a lot of people, from what I've seen just on my path, wasn't exactly going that path. And I like to do everything different,
Yes.
if anyone knows me. So I see people from Nashville in my circle of friends, they want to move to New York or LA, and they're back in 6 months. And I'm like, that won't be my story. So I'm
Mm.
like, what's the difference? And I think what I surmised from their experiences was like they were going to get something. They were going to take a bite out of the apple if they're coming to New
Yes.
York, or they're going to get something from LA. What can these cities do for me that Nashville can't? Right. But my mindset when I moved here was what can what seeds can I plant?
Mm-hmm.
Not the bite out of the apple. Like what can I contribute to New York? And yes, there's a million amazingly talented singers, of course. Um, but I felt like Nashville kind of groomed me for the overall experience. And that's the thing that I was still finding out when I got here. But I think, like with most things, you just got to do it.
Yes.
Just got to do
Yes.
it. And you got to fail. But for me, it went against my everything, because when I
Wow.
do something, I like to be perfect at it. I like to be great right away. And I know that's not conventional wisdom. I know that's not the way things go. But when you have success in that way for a long period of time, you start to believe that that's your paradigm of how life comes to you.
Wow.
So I leaned into that in moments where I may not have been prepared for it. right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so when that happened, um, there were a lot of successes and then a little bit of failure. So I'm like, not even failure, but I would say challenges. And when those moments happen, I'm like, you know what? Um, I need to find a different strategy. So 6 months it took for me to get into the sweet spot of why I moved to New York, which was
Mhm.
to be a first tier singer, meaning whenever someone needed background vocals for Jimmy Fallon or Seth Meyers or whoever, um, or if anyone's looking for a diverse singer that sings every genre for a commercial, I want to be the first one they call.
Wow.
And so I aligned myself with a manager that ultimately ended up seeing me and seeing my talent in that space. So that
Mhm.
pretty much was my career shortly after I moved here.
Mhm.
And photography still wasn't knocking at the door yet.
Wow.
So music was always my thing. And then, I make TV appearances. This is before social media where I can really kind of say who I was. And because a lot of stuff was behind the scenes, especially when it comes down to commercials, because you just hear the voice.
Yes, you just hear
And,
the
and
yeah.
unless I say, hey, that was me on that commercial, unless that happens, no one knows. So it was great, but it still didn't feed my Sagittariusness and my own individuality as it relates to, I want people to know who I am.
Mm.
It didn't feed that. Um, so, there were moments, obviously, the birth of my son, that changed my trajectory creatively
Yes.
and also personally, to where I really almost kind of took a creative sabbatical and really, really focused in on that part of my life. So I felt like during the time of, when I was with, my son's mother, and we were in a relationship for a while, I really kind of was off the grid creatively and socially. And, social media really didn't hit yet. So I felt like it was a nice time to really, really invest in my son and really, really focus on that side of my life. But then when social media came, I had essentially been like in a cave for years.
Wow.
So I really had to almost kind of reinvent myself when I came, back out into the world. And so it's been a journey, but photography hit me. I say, my son inspired that, and I was taking photos, and I got me a real camera. My first real camera was a Sony NEX6, and that was the first mirrorless before the A6000 series.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got that, and then I had an opportunity to sing background vocals for opening for Julio Iglesias over in
Mhm.
Russia. So I was there for like a month, and I took my camera over, and I was just shooting everything. I was just shooting everything.
Wow.
So that really kind of opened me up to the world as it relates to people,
Yes.
places, and then photography slowly came into play, and then Instagram has started to do its thing, but I was like, okay, yeah, I got Facebook, I'm good. Because everybody was coming from MySpace, so oh no, I'm not going to Facebook. So everybody jumps on Facebook, and then you know,
MySpace.
yeah, yeah. So I think my microphone is falling, but
We hear you though. We can
yeah,
hear you.
okay. Um, I'll keep that there. Oops, hope you don't hear too much fiddling. Yeah, um, so yeah, like I think just photography really kind of came just as it kind of started fitting into my life
Wow.
until I made it a part of my life.
Yeah,
So,
you have really you've really put together an incredible, what want to call it, layers. You have a lot of layers to what you do. You have your
yeah.
singing, you have your photography, you have your interacting on the streets, you connect with doing, manage, you have a manager to promote, to help you to, so, and then you went from losing your joy for something and then gaining your joy again.
Mm, yeah.
So, and not only that, now you are also, speaking of your mom, I had the opportunity to take in the full reel of your YouTube, because you have a YouTube channel. For those that
Yes,
don't
I
know,
do.
let me make sure I share his page. So
Yes.
it's Chaz Langley
Hmm.
podcast. He has a podcast, but he
Hmm.
also has this incredible YouTube channel and his interviews in his living room of
Yes.
all of these interesting people. But
Yes.
one of them, I would say the most interesting of them all is your mom.
Yes.
And that is such a great interview. I'm not gonna go into it because we're running short on time. But it says, "I'm so proud of the man you've become," and that's
Mm.
stated by your mom.
Yes.
Guys, if you have a opportunity, the descriptions of everything is gonna be put into here, but in this video, but you have to check out Chaz YouTube channel, and it has so much information that
I'm
your
still trying
interview.
to
So
figure it out.
what made you decide to go into podcasting?
You know what? I think once again, it's just the layers and the path of my life, how things just naturally fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, my speaking voice, my singing voice, my voice has kind of led the conversation for most of my creative endeavors, right? And I've always heard, and I do voiceovers as well. So I've always had people, once podcasts start to blow up, people are like, Chaz, you should do a podcast. You have so much to say. You have all these layers. You lived a million lives. Um, you have something to say. Figure out what you want to talk about and just
Yeah.
jump on and record yourself and just figure it out as you go. But like most things, I'm not just going to just figure it out. I got to find out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, and then I execute. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
once I figured out what I want to do, and this is actually the second tier of my podcasting. When I initially started, it was me talking to the camera about curated subjects.
mm-hmm.
So this is what I call my second season, when I actually have people in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
But my first season is me talking to the camera by myself, shorter
Mm.
with shorter episodes, because who wants to sit there and listen to me for by myself that long? So but I felt that was the jump off. And I'm like, you know what? Let me have a plan of attack with this whole podcasting thing. Now that it's saturated, now I got to once again fight this whole social media thing, fight the
Find your
Instagrams of the
niche.
world. I got to find a niche. I got to do all these different things, meet the metrics. And I'm just like, I don't know if I have the patience to do this again. But once I found my sweet spot, once I found it to be natural and kind of like a comfy sweater in my particular life, I'm like, okay, when it doesn't feel like work, it's worth doing.
Wow.
And that's what I ultimately ended up coming to grips with. And then I'm like, now that I'm doing this podcast, I would love to invite some people that I know, people who I really respect, and people who I just feel like um, can aid in the conversation and still stay within my ethos of balancing creativity with parenthood, or balancing their creativity, in other areas of their lives. So I found that was kind of like my centerpiece, and that was my reasoning for the second season. So you see a few of these things right here. These are really, really fun. These are people that are sometimes friends, sometimes people that I just find fascinating, that agreed to come on. And it just feels so organic. I mean, there's no big microphones, there's no desk. It's a couple of lavaliers, and two of my Sony cameras that are aimed at us. And then we just talk about things that I feel like that's worth talking about. So
Wow.
yeah,
You are Man, I wish we had more time
I wish I
because
was able to get on
oh,
early.
that's okay. We're gonna do this again. You gotta do a part. We gotta do a rerun.
I would love to. I would love to.
We're
Let
gonna
me
have to do like
know.
a rerun like soon.
Yes, absolutely. I'm
This
here for it.
You are so fat. You have again. There's so many layers to your career. And I
Yes,
see some folks in here. And Paro says, fascinating.
yes,
Kaz says, amazing journey.
yeah.
Paro
Thank
just
you.
said she just subscribed. Yes, go to
Oh,
his page
nice.
and subscribe.
Thank you
Um,
so much, guys. You guys are awesome.
it is you, man. I have 1,000 questions, but we
Ask a couple. What's your time frame? I mean, we can start it and
yeah,
reboot it, man.
we are going to do this again.
Good.
Are you a Brooklyn resident?
I am. I am.
I think we're neighbors.
Okay. So
So we're
I
gonna
live
have
in.
to work. Yeah, we're gonna have to connect.
We will. We should for sure.
But this man, I mean, you leave me speechless, and
Wow.
it's very rare.
Wow.
It's very rare that I'm speechless.
Wow. Well, I mean, I just I call myself the character. Since it's the character, I don't have to add a disclaimer of black, but I feel like Forrest Gump with my life
Wow.
trajectory. And that,
Wow.
be that as it may, it's my number one film of all time because
Uh-huh.
it allows me to really believe that you can be and do more than one thing in one life. I tell people all the time, I'm like, you know, you only have one life. You only have one life. Live them.
You well, see, that's a good way to close. Because I mean, and there's several people in this audience that believe the same thing, and I do, is
Mhm.
that why put yourself in a box?
Yeah.
Why put yourself in a box when you are many things?
Yeah.
Why not showcase everything that you are?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
Don't leave anything left.
the lesson learned here, because this is Wisdom Wednesday.
Mm.
The lesson learned here, I will say for myself. I don't know about the audience. I'm pretty much sure they can come to their own conclusion of what they learned here today. But one is consistency. Stick to your guns and what you love to do. Two, don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to feel strange and be awkward. Three, when you think of, you know, who you are as a person, don't be afraid to show it all off, to go into the world. God created you a certain way. Be all that you are because you are a gift to the universe.
Mm. Beautiful.
I mean, I'm gonna have to leave it like that because I gotta run to a meeting, but I don't want to leave. I don't want to
I
leave.
know. Can I
I wanna
add one
talk to
more
you.
thing? Can I add one
Yes,
more thing?
go ahead.
Hopefully
Go
to
ahead, my
inspire
friend.
your audience. We live in a time now where a lot of people will have different things to say. Oh, you're doing too much. You're doing this, and they essentially try to stare you into mediocrity.
Yes.
And I refuse to be that. So it almost makes me now more rebellious in my creative pursuits
Mm,
to keep it going even more. And I'm like, hey, you thought that was something. I'm gonna keep going.
yes.
So, no matter what you do, don't allow anybody to steal your shine by throwing these social media hashtag names on you. Oh, doing too much and da 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 da. And trying to the minute you do something that stands out, this is why we are
Mm,
fans of people who do things that we don't want to do or
yes.
we can't do. We're fans of them because we're not trying to be Pharrell. We can't be Pharrell. We can't be Madonna. We can't be Beyonce. So we revere them.
Yes.
Be that person in the space that you dwell, and people will follow you. And that's one thing
Mm,
that I've learned as well. So, I mean, don't let anybody stare you into mediocrity. That's what I'd like to leave your audience.
wow.
Yeah.
And that is the last word, y'all. That is the last word. Man,
maybe I'll have you on
Chaz.
my maybe I'll have you on my podcast.
I
I'll
heard,
have
look, Chris says this. He says he has to come back on. And Ron, I think you need to be on the sofa with Chaz.
yes. Oh, that's funny. Well, yeah, there we go. So I'll have you over. You live in Brooklyn. So I'll have you
Yes.
on my podcast and we'll share the love.
This is the beginning of a great friendship. And I tell you, I'm looking forward to many conversations with you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ron.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And again, go to Chaz. Let me just put up his information really quick so that way you'll be able to have it in the video. First of all, on Instagram, it is Langley. Langley's S
Lang-
with an
Langley's
I.
Eye. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you also have his website, which is incredible. The website is phenomenal.
Wow. Thank you
I
so
was
much.
like, holy moly, this man is blowing my mind. So anyway, So check him out on the website. Check him out on Instagram. And most of all, go onto that YouTube channel, subscribe. Also, if you enjoyed this today, make sure you like and subscribe this video and just subscribe this to this platform, Touch Base Daily. And guys, we're out of here. I have to run. I don't want to leave, but we got to go.
Yes.
Anyway, talk to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.